little babies.
Hey, Flea. Nice dick. We say we start the show, the Simple Minds Sports Show, where we talk all things New England sports, latest and the greatest. Here's the rundown for today, gentlemen. We are going to do some ranking of the Patriots roster. There's been a lot of talk about the Patriots offense and how bad it sucked. We'll do some news clips. There's some more fighting at training camp today with the Panthers, but I want to go through their roster position groups and rank them and how we think least strong to most strong, or weakest to least weakest, however you want to do that. The Red Sox seem to be trying again, so good for them. Matt Barnes came out of hiding, came out of whatever sleepy little fucking cave he was in the last couple outings. The latest on Bogart's endeavors, feels like there's movement there. Jason Tatum has been in the news for the haters, went to Draymond Green's wedding, got super high on big fat blunts, and worked out with KD in
my kind of wedding.
It did look like your kind of wedding. It worked out with KD in LA. What does that mean? Does he owe the city of Boston anything? And of course, simplest minds of the week. We got some potent candidates for that. So, Queen, seeing as here's your appearance for August, why don't you go first?
Red Sox, everyone. Sorry, you finally play a good series against the Yankees. Yankees have lost 11 straight series, first time since 1995 or 2005 that's happened. This team's everyone's buying into the hype. They quit on this team. They're not good. They're beating up on an Orioles team that sold Jorge Lopez and Trey Mancini at the deadline when they were a 500 team. They gave them the season in 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, and you're fucking now all of a sudden you found something. No. This team's still four games out of the wild card. At this point, I don't even care. The team quit on them. I'm done. I'm done with the Red Sox. It's embarrassing. Like you were the worst team in July. Put it that way, the worst team in July, and now all of a sudden you win 2 series in a row, and now you've turned the corner and started playing good baseball. Fuck that noise. This team is done. You're gonna miss the playoffs. And the Yankees are lucky they're up 17 games, or they'd be in jeopardy to miss the fucking playoffs too. But that's a story for another day.
Between management and the players in the field, they botched this season. They could have been right at there. And between the two of them, they definitely quit. So, well, I don't know if they're quite done. I'll tell you why when we get there. Ray, do you have anything nice that you'd like to share before your opening take?
Happy birthday to the short man that played second base who stole a bunch of money from Mr. John Henry because he tried but couldn't play baseball anymore. Dustin, you're a douchebag, Pedroia.
How many World Series rings do you have, Ray? Pedroia has 3, so money well earned.
And an MVP.
And a Rookie of the Year, and a batting title, and a bunch of Gold Gloves. I mean, you're looking at a potential Hall of Fame player. The way
I think you said laser show wrong when you said what was a douchebag. I think you meant
my English is off. Yeah,
just came out wrong. Laser show, boys.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Celtics are officially out on Kevin Durant, which I'm fully thrilled with, because now we can get this drama aside. Jaylen Brown says he's all in on the city of Boston. Look for a long-term extension coming next offseason. I've said it all along. I never wanted Kevin Durant on the scene. I wanted this core. Let's fucking go with this, guys.
What an absolute asshole. I don't even know if that's totally true. We can get into it a little bit. When we get to the Celtics, I'll stick with Celtics and Jason Tatum flirting with the enemy. Who gives a shit? This is what the NBA do. You should be applauding this. As long as you continue to pay this man and put talent around him, he will bring the superstars to Boston. Look, check Steph Curry. This is what you have to do. Just pay him. Keep winning. You want this guy in that circle. You want this guy dealing with the upper echelon of the NBA. That's what brings stars to your city. Who gives a fuck? No one gives a shit about your team anymore, unless you're Giannis, who's from fucking Greece and was
I think he's worth more money than their whole country is.
Old. Yeah, you could probably buy that whole country right now.
You could buy that whole country.
Yeah. 100%. So I don't give a shit that Jason Tatum was smoking blunts with Draymond Green. I don't care.
I'd smoke blunts with Draymond Green. Who cares? Again, who cares?
It's all in the heat of battle, man. And I'll still say,
who wouldn't you smoke weed? Who wouldn't you smoke weed with, Bill?
We could do a whole show on that, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Just give us one. I knew I was going to have to beep it. I knew it.
Just don't like her.
Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, August 19th. Welcome to the show.
could have went Ellen DeGeneres. She would have been number 2 on my list.
I think she lands on a lot of people's lists. Hasn't she been on the? Hasn't she been outed as a real douchebag?
Yeah,
The word you're looking for is bitch.
yeah,
Bitch.
real bit. Bitch.
We don't use that one enough. We don't use bitch enough. Start calling people bitches. If you're
cunt
watching
better.
on watching on YouTube, apologize. If you're listening on the podcast, if you're listening on iHeartRadio, congratulations, you're part of a movement, the #1 New England sports radio show on iHeartRadio. So good for you. If you listen on iTunes, we're the self-proclaimed New England #1 New England sports radio show. So even better. Wherever you get your podcast, rate, review, tell your friends, and always tell your mothers. News and notes from Patriots camp. We had another brawl or 3 brawls. How many? 2 brawls today?
3.
Was it 3 today?
Mhm.
There was 2 today, 3 total. Anyway, it all started with what's the safety kid name in Carolina? That's he knocked out Kendrick Bourne today. He was
Kenny
supposed to-
Robinson.
No, Wilkinson, Kenny Wilkinson. Or
Kenny
whatever his name is.
Wilkerson got knocked out by Kendrick Wilkinson.
Okay.
What the fuck is Wilkinson's first name?
Christian.
Christian.
Wilkerson. Thank you. A lot of K's,
Damn.
and a lot of W's.
Whoa. And Kenny Robinson is the defensive back.
There
that
There's
you go.
way too many. That's
Wait,
just,
Way too many.
now you're
K's.
throwing a Robinson in this.
2 Ks.
Where's
still needs
Caruso?
One more. The Kenny Robinson guy seems to have started all of this on Tuesday's practices with Carolina Patriots with Wilkerson, and then finished the job today, knocking Wilkerson out cold with it. Seemed like a cheap shot. Seemed like they were doing half speed kickoff drills, and he just laid him out and then stood over him and
Celebrated.
and celebrated. Real cocky move from a practice squad guy. And then of all people, Matthew Slater went over and had words with the Carolina bench.
You know
turned
what,
into a
guys?
brawl.
That's real mean, guys. You know, G. Williker, as I say.
You wouldn't see that at science camp. And then you had Dietrich Wise knocking Chris McCaffrey with a shoulder, and that led to another brawl. So, just give me your thought. Is this a good thing or a bad thing that the Patriots are brawling with the Carolina Panthers in week 2 of preseason here?
Showing some fight, I guess. I mean, yeah, the compete level. I mean, it's a pitch move. They're sticking up for their guys mostly. It sounds like, what was it? The Mac Jones quote, hold my nuts, you little bitch, or whatever, turned out to be false, but it's still hilarious.
Allegedly false.
Allegedly false. So, I mean, even that, it's just you're kind of seeing it. You hope that it's going to translate into the season, some compete level in the season, but we'll see. It's good to see in week 2 of the preseason, that's for sure.
Is it good, though? I think it's bad because does the coach not have reins on his team right now? You never heard about this when Brady was
Dude,
here.
he used to love when Rodney Harrison, his first fucking training camp, Rodney Harrison started a fight with Kevin Falk. He started a fight with pretty much anyone and everyone that came across that line. And Belichick
Heard on the radio
fucking
today,
loved
too, he
it.
paid someone to pick a fight with Lauren Malloy in 2000, just go out there and get things going. I hear what you're saying, Ray, but I think as the details came out about this, and you knocked the guy out cold and you celebrated him, yeah, you fight over that. And then there's recourse when Dietrich Wise hits McCaffrey a little bit late or whatever it was. But I think Carolina, maybe it says something that their shittiness is rubbing off on you, and maybe you do have an undisciplined team. We saw uncharacteristic penalties from this team all last year. We'll see if that carries over to this year, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm
not saying either. I'm just saying it could be looked at as a bad thing with the coaches not being able to rein their team and have discipline. I mean, 2 days in a row, you've had brawls throughout practice.
Well, I think it hurts them because
practice.
Yeah, I think it hurts because you haven't been able to play. You haven't been able to practice. You haven't been able to get on the field and work out this offense. So, Bill, you haven't been able to talk about it. Just give me your overall opinion. Then I want both of your percentage-wise. What's your percentage that this is going to work? And by this, I mean the new offense and just the offense in general. And by work and will be good, I mean, will it be good enough to help a team to this team to the playoffs?
36.5%.
Okay.
That's about
36.5%.
That's about as much faith as I have in this offense to figure it out. Again, I've stated before, it's crucial development in year number 2, and you came in and completely turned the offense around. You don't know who's calling plays. You handed it over to the fucking nutsack twins, right? This is a fucking problem. This is a problem, and you cannot have that. Like, you don't know who's calling plays. The coaching staff is the downfall of this team. I actually think there's some talent on the offensive board, but Jesus, there's no coaching on this team at all. That's
Can I ask you something? Do all nutsacks have twins? Or are you talking? Are they two different? Like 2 nutsacks?
Nope.
With 4 balls. Or are you talking about two.
Why are we
two
breaking
balls
this
in one.
down?
Sorry.
My right one hangs lower than my left one, so they are not
It's 'cause you-
identical.
I bet.
That's 746.
It's a trait.
Ray, give me your percentage on chance of this working.
69.
Thank you.
You're
I-
welcome. Can I
second
say
that.
why? Can I say why?
Sure.
They basically threw out the old playbook, the one that was so complicated that like Chad Johnson couldn't get a hold of or
Ocho
name any.
Cinco, respect him, please.
Sorry. So what they're doing now is a peanut butter and jelly. You can't mess up peanut butter and jelly. I mean, it's gonna take a little while to get used to putting the bread, peanut butter, jelly on the slices, but throughout the season, you're gonna finally get to this very vanilla offense.
Have you ever seen a
they're gonna
nutsack
adjust.
call a play?
Yes. Do you remember gym class?
Sometimes
when
he
Mr. Long used to call into play calls.
I do. I thought you were going with Fulton
John
there.
Long. John Long.
Fulton's called a couple frisbee plays there too in the old.
They're usually little kids' buttholes, though.
He's peeking through in the Russell Athletic sweatpants. I'll also go 69%. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Cut day today, Wednesday. Malcolm Butler went on IR with an undisclosed injury. You also had Juwan Williams, season-ending shoulder, I think it was, and their backup punter, Jake Julian. Hate to
Was
see
he
him go.
racist? Was he a racist?
Jake?
Yeah.
Allegedly, no.
Okay.
Allegedly, he was not a
What
racist.
happened to the racist kicker?
They cut him.
The Nazi kicker?
Yeah.
Nazi. No, Nazi. Get it right.
He wasn't
No,
racist,
he
although
got
I think
cut.
that's a part of being a Nazi.
Oh, come on. If you're a Nazi, you're racist.
I think so, yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
all looped into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. But you also hate white people too, though.
Yeah, well,
That's the
Well-
problem. How are you racist? See, it's a fine line here.
he ate, yeah.
If you hate white people, supposedly you're not racist, right? You just hate white people.
I'm not sure.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
it
sure.
works.
Ray, why don't you tell us your conspiracy theory on Malcolm Butler, and I'll Wikipedia Bill's question.
Okay, thank you. So my conspiracy theory on Malcolm Butler is this.
Get a life, loser.
He still hasn't said why he was sat down in that Super Bowl. It's still a big hush hush. He was retired last year. Bill Belichick brought him in for a one more go. Couldn't do it. Couldn't hack it. So Bill says, hey, you know what? I'm going to put you on IR. You kept your mouth shut. You went down with the sword. So we're going to put you on IR so you're not embarrassed. Here's some money. Go away. Live a nice life.
That's a good as theory as any. Here's the definition for racist. Prejudiced against any antagonistic toward a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Membership, like a Sam's Club?
Yeah. So I think we just find out that Nazis are not racist.
Because white's not defined in that. Right? I mean, we took it off the fucking internet. Everything on the internet is 100% true. And it's
absolutely.
fact-checked.
Take our word for it. We're not condoning Nazis, by the
Oh,
way.
no,
Just want to make that clear. Nazis
Absolutely not. Half a race
suck.
quickly gone
The internet
because of
says
them.
also the internet says they're not racist. Quick break. We'll be back to rank the Patriots positional groups.
Rest in peace. Shalom.
Oh, good start. I've been sick since you've been here. This fucking sucks.
Ooh, someone got syphilis.
Oh, Finley was sick and then passed it on to Rich.
Hey.
And then we saw a dead guy at a concert. Jesus.
You
That's true.
could have caught pink eye from Irene's house.
Well, it's happened before.
Stop farting in her pillow.
Put my butthole right in her face. Why don't I need to fire her
That's why
pillow?
she has constant pink eye. Here's your positional groups we can work through here. I got 10 of them for you. Nice, clean, even
You have
10. We
11. You dummy.
We don't need kickers and punters.
8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah, I have 10 plus 1.
Throw
I
out the
missed it.
kicker, throw out the punter. Those jobs are locked.
They're
We're
not-
ranking them, you dummy.
We'll just start at 10 and see where we get. On this, I have coaching, special teams,
10.
safety, cornerback, linebacker, defensive line, O-line, tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback. I'll give you my number 10, okay? This is the worst positional group on the team, in my opinion. You can agree or disagree, and I'll give you the depth chart for it. The worst positional group, I believe, is cornerback. Your starting cornerbacks right now per ESPN is Terrence Mitchell and Jalen Mills, backed up by Sean Wade, Jonathan Jones, and then the two Jones rookies, Marcus and Jack Jones. Your boy Miles Bryant still on the roster, and something called Devin Hafford. But you look at Terrence Mitchell and Jalen Mills and some combination of Jonathan Jones, Sean Wade, or Marcus Jones.
Nope.
That's gotta be the worst position group on the team.
11. That's 11. Yep.
Okay, that's 11. Bill, concur?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, even Malcolm Butler started against the Giants, on the first team offense, and then he's now missing. I mean, that hurts your depth. JoJo Williams has been an utter bust. Kind of hoped that maybe in a contract year in year 4 that he would do something, but no, yeah, you're 100% right. Worst position group on the team.
Thank you. At number 9/10, I have the linebackers. Now, I could be argued out of this, but let me give you a linebacking. With the Patriots, it's always between the deal. It's always just a front seven, but we'll try and split them up here. Here's where your linebackers are listed, and this is why you could say I'm wrong, because Matthew Judon's listed as an outside linebacker, which he doesn't play linebacker for them. He plays edge. Let's be honest. He's not dropping back in coverage at any point in time. However, you got Judon, Bentley, Mac Wilson, the kid they traded for from Cleveland, Josh Uche, who apparently has looked pretty good at camp. So Ronnie Perkins backing him up, who has sucked, Jahani Tavai, Raekwon McMillan, who has been quiet, Anthony Jennings.
He's actually had a good camp, Jennings.
Both those guys have, I think. McMillan has been a little bit less, a little bit more quiet than
both
Jennings.
Working their way back from injuries, yeah.
And then McGrone, who they've been so high on for 2 years, is on practice squad basically at this point. Harvey Lange, we've seen, and after that, it doesn't really matter. Give me your opinion, Ray. I saw you shaking your head. Your opinion on the linebacker core? You think it's too low?
I think it is. I have them at number 6 on the position rankings. I think they're going to be a sleeper this year. They're very quick. It's not like years past where it's been, slow, stop the run kind of guys, jam the gaps. These guys are going to get to the quarterback very fast. And also, Bill Belichick's specialty. Jam the gaps, just like Bill's mom's butthole. And I feel like this is Bill Belichick's specialty. He did it with the Giants with Lawrence Taylor. He knows a little thing, too, about linebackers. So I think he's going to
270-pound Lawrence Taylor, right? Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Bill, Ray, I agree with most of what you said until you finish it off with he did it with Lawrence Taylor 30 years ago, the greatest defensive player in the NFL.
Best linebacker that the NFL has ever seen, and he did it high on cocaine every game. Like you can't repeat that.
It's like a Felger and Maz caller justifying their stupid fucking point. He did it with,
Ray is the Felger and Maz callers.
Lawrence Taylor. I don't disagree with the speed of linebacker will be more. I don't know. It's not Judon is not a linebacker. So can Jawan Bentley, Mac Wilson, and Josh Uche hold down the linebacking core and throw Anthony Jennings in there if you want, McMillan if you want, Perkins? We haven't seen any of these guys play besides Bentley, who has been underwhelming at best.
Yes, because now you don't have two stiffs in Kyle Van Noy and Dante Hightower out there running your defense. Now you went younger and you went faster. I mean, that's what you needed to do. You saw Josh Allen run up and down this field 7 times for touchdowns, passes out of the backfield, tight ends. I mean, these are guys you brought Mac Wilson in to come out and help cover tight ends. And again, Jawan Bentley, I thought he was going to get cut last year, but he actually had a good solid season. I think they found a nice role for him, but you're putting a lot of faith in the young guys, Jennings and Uche, who can't stay healthy, and McGrone there, who he's like a new draft pick, but he hasn't shown shit yet. He's going to kind of start learning. I mean, I think your depth there as a whole is not good. I don't consider Judon, I mean, a linebacker. He's more of your fucking, your defensive end, really. All he does is really rush your passer. He'll drop in coverage a little bit, but he's more on that Willie McGinnis. He's a Willie McGinnis type. Willie McGinnis or Teddy, he's a Willie McGinnis, Mike Vrabel type.
Right. He's never going to line up inside linebacker and fill the gaps on the run plays. No, he's rushing the passer or setting the edge for the run plays. So he's in a 3-4, he's an edge guy. So I agree with you there. You're right. That's probably too low. Let's go to the next one, which I know is probably too low, but there's a reason I put this here. I put wide receivers next. It's because they're too deep. They're too deep with mediocre guys.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
Maybe Aguilar or a Parker or even a Bourne is a number 2 on a good team. Maybe. Maybe Parker just got cut from the Dolphins, who clearly have their 1 and 2 guys.
Well, he got traded. I mean, he got traded. He got
but he
the
got
fallout.
cut. He got traded for a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, they knew they were going to cut him. So.
But let me give you the depth chart here, then give me your opinion here. So on the depth chart for ESPN, by the way, if you look up the depth chart for the Patriots, half these guys aren't even fucking on there. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose for competitive advantage, quote unquote, or if they're just lazy, but ESPN is more up to date. So that's why I'm using that. Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers are slotted as starters right now, backed up by Nelson Aguilar, the darling of camp, Tyquan Thornton, Christian I'm Dead Wilkerson, White Boy Trey Nixon comes after that, Lil Jordan Humphrey, and Matthew Slater's slotted there in his professional wide receiver spot.
Jesus Christ.
See, I don't think they're
Go ahead.
I don't think they're as low as you think they are. I actually really like the Devontae Parker addition. I think you've heard it in camp now, the 50-50 balls. You got a guy that Matt can just throw it up to. You didn't have that Jacoby Myers. You sure as shit don't have that in Nelson Aguilar. Now you got a guy that's going to come out and kind of compete for the ball. You've heard Mac's arm looks a little stronger this year. He started working out with Tom House in the offseason. He put on a lot of muscle, lost a lot of weight. So you're looking at guys that hopefully can spread the field and Parker go up and get it. I think we're a little low on wide receivers, but again, they're mediocre talent at best. Devontae Parker, I think, is a good number 2 on a good team, but you're looking at a 3-4 wide receiver. Jacoby Myers is maybe a fifth receiver on a good team, and Nelson Aguilar, he's a number 3 on a good team. Honestly, like he's featured as a 1-2, which he shouldn't be, but I mean, I like
because
Bourne.
of the type of routes he runs. I think that
right, because
put him
down
traditionally in a number 1 spot, right? But
yeah,
my point is
routes, yeah.
My point to that, Ray, and I'll play devil's. I agree with you. It's probably too low, and I like the guys. I like the Parker trade. I think he's going to be good for them. It seems like Aguilar's picking things up. Bourne sounds like he's taking a step back. And your Jacoby Myers is slotted perfectly as a number 4 receiver, and he'll be there as a possession guy.
He'll catch 80 balls this year, 85 balls. Good. He's got a good rapport with Mac.
My deal is though. Can you trust Aguilar to be that guy? Can you trust Bourne to be that guy? Can you trust Parker with the injury history to be that guy? I don't.
What about Julian Edelman?
Don't even do that. I heard the interview. He's not coming back. He has no fucking knees. Ray, you agree this is too low?
Nope, I agree with you. Perfect slot for him. You have no superstars. You have a lot of good to average players. No one bad. N'Keal Harry, they shipped that corpse off to Chicago, so you don't have any bad guys. Peace. You know, there's no one that's like, oh god, this is a terrible. How is he making this team? But you have no superstar, no clear number 1, no clear target for Mac to go after. And
Devontae Parker.
But this is the first year together. Who knows how they're going to go?
Devontae Parker single-handedly took a first-round bye away from the New England Patriots.
He's really good when he's locked in. If they can lock in, they'll be good
on the
too.
Defensive Player of the Year.
And if Hunter Henry can be a escape valve, and if Ty Montgomery will get there, can be the type of player he's looked like he's being a James White type player.
Oh, I forgot he was even on the.
You'll have your 3 layers of passing offense. We'll just see what it looks like. But my point is that we don't know for sure if it's going to work.
Yeah.
Real quickly, over under the amount of passes that N'Keal Harry catches from
0. He's out for the year.
Is he?
Yeah. Devastating ankle injury.
He sprained his ankle.
So he's out. He's out for a while.
Devastating. This just made that really funny for me. Devastating ankle injury. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he stepped on a Lego. He's out for the year. Good planter.
Fuck that guy. Next up, I had the D line. I'll give you the depth chart. You tell me what you think. We got to move on here. D line consists of where am I? Dietrich Wise, $20 million, Devin Gottschall, Lawrence Guy. After that, Henry Anderson. ESPN has Christian Barmore on the second string. They shouldn't. He's obviously going to be a starter.
He's your best. He is 100% probably your best defensive player on this
Single-handedly, he might be enough to push this up the
Have you
seen
rankings. Videos of him in
He's
camp?
A beast. He's a beast. Outside of him,
he fought David Andrews in camp earlier this year.
Outside of him, this position group probably should be last, but him alone has ranked them up to 6/7th. I forgot tight ends on this list.
If you put Judon where he should be on the defensive line, you're looking at the linebackers. You're looking at the linebackers at the end, right? And now you're looking at the defensive linemen, probably top 4 on your team. You got some good depth there.
At least, yeah.
All right. Well, in between, let's just skip ahead and go through. Let's debate the middle here, because in the middle I have coaching and special teams, which we could argue could be off the list. However, Nick Folk was single-handedly your offense for a good portion of last
36
year.
out of 39.
And we all know how I feel about Jake Bailey.
And they just gave Jake Bailey $6 million. What did they give him? I think it was $6.
Highest paid tight end.
Yeah. 4
highest
years
paid
at
punter,
24. I think it was $6 million.
18-4 for 18, I thought. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So you have that, but then you also have the bum still coaching them that committed the most penalties on a Patriots special teams
and
ever.
3 blocked kicks.
Yeah. So I had them high just for Nick Folk.
I had them at 2. I had that too.
Okay, we'll get there. Coaching, I have smack dab in the middle somewhere. Obviously, we know what the debacle is going to be. No one's even talking about Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo and the failure that they put on the field the first 4 games of the season and the last 4 games of the season. So we've yet to see how that's shaken out. Never mind the twin nutsacks in charge of the offense.
So I have him at 8. I put him at 8. The twin nutsacks.
I put coaching at last.
Oh, okay. Coaching's at last. Okay, we skipped over tight end and O line. How do you compare the O line to the D line? You think O line has much more, I think, talent, name recognition wise? I'll give you the names here. Hold on, Raymond.
I like this Cole Strange guy just for that name.
Cole Strange. ESPN still has Isaiah Wynn at left tackle, but we know he's been playing right. So you got Isaiah Wynn, Cole Strange, David Andrews, Mike Owinu, and Trent Brown. I
love Trent Brown at the left tackle.
Oh, yes. That's the only those Dave Andrews. That's it. I don't like anything else.
Dave Andrews, that's it. It's the only thing you like?
No, I liked Trent Brown moving to left, and I like the center, David Andrews, and that's it.
You gotta win at right tackle. He was a serviceable left tackle. Put him over at right, he'll be fine.
I agree. I think we've been saying that our guard for Wynn. I mean, he gets hurt on the left tackle. I thought he had a mediocre season last year. Move him over to right. Trent Brown was a beast in 18 when they won the Super Bowl, protecting Tom Brady's backside. That's what you need for fucking Mac Jones.
He's got a weight clause in his contract now.
Yeah, that means he's motivated.
Down to 365. So
he says he wants to be at 350.
Good. He's got cap problems.
Past that, you got your backup. Your depth might hurt you. I guess Kajust has had a pretty good camp, but then your other tackles Durant and Haran, which we know are just
terrible,
disastrous injuries waiting to happen. We could take some from N'Keal Harry. This young kid Drew Deserutti. I don't know. I've heard.
See a 6th round draft pick, something like that, 5th or 6th.
James Ferentz is serviceable, and Will Sherman was the kid they picked last year in the 6th round. They could play everywhere. Not a lot of depth there, a lot of inexperience. Ray, where'd you put offensive line? Just give me your
10.
11 through 6 at this point. Where do we stand?
I have 11 the cornerbacks, number 10 the O line, number 9 the wide receivers, number 8 the coaching, number 7 the defensive line, and number 6 the linebackers.
So you like the D line a lot better than the O line. Bill, agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Of course.
I would flip flop every single team and raise 6 through 11. Mm-hmm. That's my list.
Okay, I'm somewhere in the middle. Where we have forgot our 3 position groups that I have at top 3, and Ray, I forget what you said, but I think you're in the same agreement somewhere. My top 3, at 3 I have running back, 2 I have quarterback, 1 I have safety. I just think they're very deep with McCourty, Duggar, and Phillips. They've been a steadfast group for them for 2 or 3 years here. I think that you can rely on them, and they're going to be asked to do a lot in that secondary this year, and I think they can do it. And they picked up the Jabril Peppers kid.
I like him.
Yeah, he should be good too. And then obviously your quarterback is the best thing you have going for you in Mac Jones, I think, if he can step up. And then your running back, you're deep. You're deep with Harris, Ramadan Ding Dong. They picked up Ty Montgomery.
Pierre Strong, I think, is to be a sleeper.
Yeah, he's at a good camp.
Yeah. JJ is still there. And then we should say we haven't mentioned James White did retire with a busted hip. So top running back in Patriots history. We've had this debate before. Did we land on Falk or him?
Falk.
Or Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, career-wise, it's Dylan for sure. I mean, I think talent-wise, it's Dylan.
I think mine was LeGarrette Blount.
But James White's the best pass-catching running back in Patriots history, and I would take him over Kevin Falk any day because James White never dropped anything. Kevin Falk,
not one single fumble in his career recorded for James White. Not a one.
He's the best. I mean, you've had a long line to Falk, to Vereen, to him, but I would give me James White over all of them. His 8-year stretch, and one was basically a redshirt year. His first year in 2014 was his first year, and he was basically single-handedly could have won that Super Bowl against Atlanta.
Catches, 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
3 touchdowns.
Absolutely, one of the 3 touchdowns. One of the most solid players.
Should have been
Patriots ever had. Perfect Patriot. James White, we'll miss you. Ray, you're 1 through 3 there. You agree with my rankings, or you got them switched up a little?
I don't have quarterback. Instead, at number 2, I have special teams.
Where'd you put Mac?
Number 4.
4. And you put special teams up there that high because of your love for soccer.
Jake Bailey's wife, yes.
Okay. Got it. I knew Ray's lists are always a little tinted. That's why we call him the obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
You're still stalking her, Ray?
Oh yeah.
I don't think we came up with a definitive list, but we'll put that out, Ray. We'll put something out on social media. We'll come up with somehow.
I got an idea.
Hodgepodge of list there. We'll put it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. The Patriots play their second preseason game this evening versus the Carolina Panthers. Things got spicy in joint practices. The two sides were in full thrust. Excuse me, Richard, while I pull this over so I can block Bill. Into a full-out brawl resulting in Kendrick Bourne and Kendrick Wilkerson getting ejected from practice. Allegedly, the brawl started after Mac Jones threw a long touchdown to Tyquan Thornton. Following the play, Mac told baby back bitch Brian Burns to hold his nuts, Bill, like a little bitch, allegedly. The Red Sox have apparently woken up. Waka 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 was one of the few early bright spots for the Red Sox this season. Waka threw a 7-inning gem versus the Yankees in his first start after coming off the IL. The Red Sox won that series versus the Yankees, making it the first series win versus the division this year. That's fucking crazy. The Sox head into a series with the Orioles this weekend with a chance to push close to the final wildcard spot. The Celtics will host the 76ers on the NBA's opening night, October 18th. Thankfully, Jason Tatum has cleared his calendar of any social events with hated Boston rivals for that evening. Tennis superstar and Bill's love, which I know this for a fact, Serena Williams has decided.
I love her.
I know you do. Has decided to hang it up her racket at 40 years old. Williams is a 23-time Grand Slam champion, and I am a personal advocate for the Grand Slam breakfast from Denny's. So basically, we're the same. Catching up on last week's Simplest Mind of the Week, Rodolfo Castro, I did probably say that wrong, has been suspended 1 game and fined for having his cell phone on the field of play. The MLB does not believe Castro was using his phone to cheat. He just loves scrolling through internet titties, and who can blame him? Finally, just a word of warning: if you are against unknowingly taking anabolic steroids, don't cut your hair. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
Thanks, Ray.
Welcome.
It's really well done. Bill, the Red Sox are trying. I know that your opening take was a lot of hate for them, but it seems like they sleptwalk through the 2 or 3 weeks before the deadline and 2 or 3 weeks after the deadline. Seems like the players quit. Seems like management didn't have a strong hold of what they wanted to do. It seems like Chaim Bloom is trying to play both sides of the fence and doesn't know how to. Here's let's put it plainly: doesn't know how to be a general manager in Boston. Knows how to be a general manager in Tampa. Doesn't know how to be a general manager in Boston. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he knows how to lead. You have to be able to, if you're in that position, not only do you have to be able to do the baseball shit and the nerd shit and the analytics shit and be able to play the video game GM stuff. You're dealing with real people. You have to be a leader of men, and Chaim Bloom is not that guy, and that's why all this fucking
pussy muscle. It's pussy muscle.
One of the strongest muscles in the body. He's not that. He's something else. He's a
the hymen, the thing that breaks.
There you go. Here you go. His namesake. That's what he is. However, the talent on the team or the will of the team or whatever. Say what you want about the competition. They did go in, and the Yankees are playing like shit. They did go in and take 2 or 3 from the Yankees for the first division win, and just watch them play. I haven't watched a lot of baseball, but I've watched these ones play. They look better, Bill. They look better. They look like they're playing. What Divers hit in August?
Who the fuck is
134?
Devers?
Bogarts was hitting 209, 134 for, was that JD or Devers? JD wasn't much better. They were hitting like shit. Now they're not. Now they're coming back to life.
You bought in, you fucking tool. You bought in. You fucking hook, line, and singer. This is last year.
Let me get this straight, and I'll let you go. I'm not rooting for them at all because I think it'll take Heimblum off the hook. Heimblum is public enemy number one for me. I think that he has no direction, doesn't know how to lead, doesn't know how to run an organization. Maybe he can address talent. Maybe he can find diamonds in the rough here and there with Michael Wacha. Say what you want about Whitlock. He has fucked this team. He's fucked them. They should have been a playoff team contending for the division. And because of the way he led, not necessarily the moves that he made, but because of the way he led his team, they fucked themselves. They're fucked. However, the talent and the schedule is what it is. They're gonna beat the shit out of the Pirates, probably catch some momentum, win some games against the Orioles. There'll be 2 or 3 games out of the playoffs, and people will get excited. And I'm just telling you, there's a chance they sneak in. Just telling you, there's a chance they do it. There's a chance.
Sources are saying ownership is not happy with Bloom right now, and I'll cite the
fucking sources. You
me,
twin nutsacks.
My source. It's me. I'm the source. No, seriously. Like there's rumblings that ownership is not happy. I think the Kyle Schwarber deal was something that ownership was not happy about. I think they bungled that. They didn't even give the guy an offer. He even said I would have came back and countered, and they did nothing. They just let it. And I think ownership is not happy with the trajectory of the team. And I think there's a lot of rumblings behind the scenes now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bloom's fired at the end of this year. If they miss the playoffs, he's gone. I'm telling you right now, he's gone. He did his job.
I'd be surprised if they
stocked the
I think
farms.
He's got next year.
I think Cora would be gone before.
Cora does nope. Cora does not deserve to get fired. It's not his fault.
I think the organization. Sorry, Bill. I think ownership loves Cora. That's why he came back as a disgraced manager under a new GM. I think they like Cora. The players like Cora. But Bill, I agree with you. We were texting about it today. We've seen this track record from the Red Sox since Theo left. They try something. They don't like what they see after 3 or 4 years, then they
blow it up.
Then they stick their foot directly in the middle of it and make whatever decision they need to make to bring their team to relevance. We've seen it. How many times? How many iterations have we seen of this? 3 different iterations of this. So I have no doubt that your sources are correct, and they are starting to dip their tentacles into Heimblum's little ink there, which is a perfect segue for what I want to talk about next. But Ray, your thoughts on the Red Sox recent surge here?
It's the surge, but not from the 3 superstars. I think Devers, Bogarts, and JD have all fully given up on this team. They don't like losing. They have contract, their money on their mind. And I think they're just fully done for the season. And I think that they want to just, go through the motions, kind of like JD did in 2020 with the COVID year. Just go through the motions, finish off the season, see what happens in the offseason, give me my money. That's all they care about. And I think that you're just getting a resurgence from everyone else but the 3 superstars that should be making this team better.
Well, a couple home runs from Devers would speak otherwise against the Yankees,
which you just had a couple the last couple nights.
Yeah, but was it his slugging percentage? Like all 3 of their slugging percentages,
they were shit, and they did quit.
Devers was hard too. He came back from an injury.
Well, look, JD's walking into a contract year, and Bogarts is walking into a contract year. They're too smart to just quit for the rest of the season. They're gonna go watch. They'll both catch fucking fire in September or some stretch here at some point. They're too good not to. Whether it will result to the playoffs or not, Bill, I don't know. I'm not buying in. Not being a little buying in hook, like, and sinker. I'm just reading the tea leaves. You watched them play 700 ball. You watched them play 700 ball for a stretch after playing 300 ball to start the season. We know they're capable of it against shitty teams. They're gonna see some shitty teams, and then they're gonna see the division. Let's see what they do against the shitty teams.
Give me Dave Dombrowski back, where you had a chance to make the playoffs.
Don't say that.
Nope. Listen right now. You had a chance to make this playoffs. You had a chance to compete with the additions you made. You had the prospects to go out and buy talent to get you over the hump. And what did you do? You fell into Eric Hosmer. If Eric Hosmer does not back out of a trade, your most notable addition is Tommy Pham, who's hitting 225 with 3 home runs and 4 doubles since they've had him. That is
on the walk-off, though.
It's on his fantasy team.
No. He's not. He's trash. That's my point. He's trash. And that was your most notable addition until Eric Hosmer fell in your lap in the fact that the Padres are paying 95% of his contract going forward.
And the only thing that you missed on Tommy Pham is he had a terrific soundbite about Heim Bloom saying that he wanted to be here 4 months ago and he just couldn't pull the fucking trigger. So
yeah, the money didn't work.
Sure, yeah. The what he signed for, 4 million or 6 million originally.
I don't even know.
Real
shit.
A real
but
roadblock for the
Kiki's
Red Sox.
back. Don't worry. Yay, go Red Sox. Woo.
Okay. Just a real
fire him. The
30-second break.
Everyone
30-second break, and then I want your opinion on what they are going to do next with Bogaerts. Okay. Are they signing Bogaerts and Devers?
Bogaerts is gone. I think they're both gone. Buster Olney, I think we were going over this before this morning, Rich. Buster Olney put the Godfather. They're going to offer him something that he can't refuse. Bullshit. Mookie Betts was the guy that you're supposed to offer something you can't refuse, who was an MVP homegrown talent. And now you're doing the same thing all over again. It goes all the way back to John Lester for the 4 years, $78 million that you slapped in his face and offer. John Lester is the guy that should have retired as a fucking Red Sox, and you watch him go win a World Series with the Chicago Cubs. You're about to watch Xander Bogaerts walk to the Yankees. I have a price $30 million. He's going to want more. He thinks he's Carlos Carrera. I don't think the money works. I think the Yankees will swoop in and grab him, and the same thing's going to happen to Devers. Devers is gone. They're not going to come. They're minimum $200 million behind again on a superstar player, homegrown superstar player. I have no faith that they're going to lock these guys up. Zero faith at all. And I think Bogaerts is the most likely gone. I've been saying it for 3-4 years now. That opt-out clause, he's played better and better every year. His power's gone this year, which is very weird. He's borderline 30 home run guy. He's not going to get there this year, but
a lot of guys' power is gone this year.
JD's is gone. Yep, JD's gone. He's up there, and I think he's top 5 in doubles. He was leading the league for a little bit in doubles, but
looking like crazy. But yeah, there's
0.0% chance that Devers will be a member of this Red Sox next year, and the Trevor Story signing proved it.
Raymond,
I think he's gone as well. I think that what I hear that you have to be out of the luxury tax 2 out of 3 years or something like that. And I think we're over the luxury tax right now. So next year, John Henry's going to want to be out. He's not going to sign these guys. These guys are gone.
You lose draft compensation too. So
you compound every year that you're in. So the track record from John Henry's ownership has been be in for 2 or 3 years if you're competitive, and then try to dip out and then try to get back in so you don't continue to compound.
Well, it takes away your international signing, Rich, and you went under the tax. You went under the tax last year, and you could have spent all your fucking money on your international signing going after Suzuki, and then you would have been set for the next 4 or 5 years in the international guys, and you botched that too to end up with Trevor Story, who's hitting 225, had fucking 14 home runs that he hit 13 in 9 games, and now he's trying to come back from a broken hand. I'm tired of these fucking Red Sox moves.
Oh, man.
I think
Gasper made this point.
Very fucking laughable.
I know it is laughable.
I think Gasper made this point that this is my point of Heim Bloom doesn't have a direction and doesn't know how to lead, or doesn't have a foresight other than try and find good deals and diamonds in the rough. If you had an assumption that your team was not going to compete this year, and ownership likes to stay out of the tax every 3 years or so, they had an opportunity. Trade JD Martinez. You had an opportunity to get under the tax. You could have done it very fucking easily. You would have ate shit in the rags, in the papers, in the internet. Scolding would have been hard. But
next offseason, come back.
Are you
strong.
doing what's right for the team, or are you just reacting? It just feels like they're constant. And this goes back to Theo. It just feels like since 07, that 07 World Series, since Theo left, call it, this Red Sox ownership and management has just been reacting and not building, right? They bring in Sherrington, and he wants to do stuff, and then they say, nope, go fucking sign Castillo, go sign Hanley Ramirez, go sign Pablo, and then it turns to shit. They fire him. They sign Dabrowski, trade everybody, bring me David Price, win me a World Series.
Both of those guys won World Series.
Then they bring in Heim Bloom, and it's the same deal. Build me my farm system for cheap, but also people are pissed. You can't trade JD Martinez, so try and there's no direction. absolutely no direction, but they will sign Devers. They absolutely will sign Devers. They can't afford not to. For that reason alone, I agree with you.
They just traded for his replacement in the Hunter Renfroe deal. That's a guy that's going to come up and hit 30 home runs. I forget his fucking name.
They don't have the patience for that, Bill. I just told you the track record. They don't have the patience for it, and they don't have the PR thick neck for it, thick skin for
Dombrowski, because Devers would have signed for $400 million already.
16 mil is coming off the books with David Price next year. They're going to give that money either to Devers or they're going to give it to Bogarts or to both. I bet you. Watch, they'll make an offer to Bogarts, not for 30, for 27, for 27 and 8. He may take it, he may not. He likes Boston. He wants to be here, especially if Alex Cora is here. And if he takes it, Devers will take the 10 years for 300. Watch,
dude. This farm
10 years for 280
is like the guys that show up at Irene's house at 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning, hoping to get some action. It's like, no, wait your turn, boys. Come on, it's terrible. It's just pathetic. Like, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Give me a guy that's going to fucking build a team, and give me a guy that's going to be aggressive and get me a World Series. You're 2 games from the World Series last year, 2 fucking games. And what are you doing? You're sniffing a playoff spot right now, where you were leading the wild card at one time. It's a joke.
Sell the team and bring me Theo.
Sell the team.
Sell the team and bring me Theo.
Quick
right afternoon delight.
Jeremy Jacobs, right up there. I hate him. Fucking hate him.
Is he a walking nutsack?
Tit. I think he falls in the walking tit category.
And nutsacks are Joe Judge and Matt Patricia.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Whoop. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
I'm still trying to.
Raymond, does Jason Tatum owe Boston as a city or the Celtics as an organization allegiance? Does he owe them some type of allegiance?
No.
And this is coming off the heels of my opening take and recent. He was at Draymond Green's wedding, taking pictures with Steph and LeBron and Draymond. And then he was working out with KD in LA as the Durant rumors to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown continue to be bubbling, even though our own Dr. Big Mac has already concluded that those are dead. So it's brought up some tempers, some emotions from Celtics fans. You say no, he doesn't owe any allegiance.
No. Why would he? I mean, and I think as a green teamer, you should be happy that he is he's practicing with the elite of the NBA right now. I mean, if he wasn't going to be the top 5, top 3 in the NBA in the next 5 years, I mean, this is what you want to see out of him. You want to see him playing with the best, practicing with the best. This is great to see. Who gives a fuck if he's over there with KD or at Draymond Green's wedding? Who cares? Those are friends. You bond with these guys. You do the same thing with these boys. 82 games out of the year. You know, this is what you do. I'm not mad about it. I love it. I love to see him being with these guys.
That was obviously my point too to open up the show. But Bill, wouldn't we love him so much more if he was Giannis? Wouldn't we love him so much more if he said, fuck these fucking guys?
The Michael Jordan, like, you train out with your team, and that's it. You know, I mean, you see it in the court. Like, that's one thing I hate about the NBA too, is like the buddiness on the court. You see it at, they're fucking Tatum hanging out with Kyrie and Kevin Durant after.
I don't like that.
But that's the thing. It's kind of along on the same lines as that. To me, honestly, is right there, because now you're like, it's cool to see him work out with these guys because you want him to play with the best competition in the offseason, like it's the NBA. But at the same time, it's like, like, I get why you're, Rich, to your point, you're trying to get the talent there, but it's like, at the same time, you start getting that shit in people's heads, and that's what I've been afraid of, and I've said it before. When his contract's up, if they're not start winning, right? I mean, you just signed a max extension, and you got a 3-year window at Jason Tatum until those voices start growing and growing and growing. And if he continues to start working out with these guys more and more in the offseason, those voices start growing and growing and growing. And if you're stuck at Eastern Conference champions and can't get over the hump for the next 3 years, you're gonna start looking back at these workouts going, this is where it changed.
Tatum is just as much as a flight risk as he is
he's the biggest flight risk.
A beacon to bring people here. And the thing about the on-court, off-court stuff with Tatum, that I think he just takes it a little far. Like, you look at Jaylen and he gets in it he gets in the face of Draymond and stuff on the court, and then he will go play with him after the court. He's talked shit about Kyrie, and now he's buddy with him in
He
Brooklyn.
hates Marcus Smart, and they've been practicing all summer together.
Right. So I think like Jalen can show it on the court. He can turn that on and just be a bulldog when he needs to be.
Tatum can't.
Tatum doesn't. Like he was telling the Celtics crowd to stop booing Kyrie.
It's a Dookie attitude.
I've always had that little bit of hesitation of fucking really like Tatum.
You can never trust a team where their nicknames are shit.
No, you can't. I get it.
Oh,
Dookie. I had another point, and you just ruined it with that Dookie joke.
Sorry, it was lame.
Shit. What was the? Damn it! It was a good one too. Right? Damn it. Did I have any other points here? No. Fuck. Okay. Well, it'll come to me. Simplest minds of the week after this.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
God damn it. What was it?
No. Bill's looking at his STD results on his email right now.
No, I just got a text that it says loser pussy, here we come, because me and my buddy Ray have been talking about Paige Van Zandt all day. so we just said just start an OnlyFans. but the problem, then he said, like, we can't start an OnlyFans because no one wants to see loser titties. I was like, I don't care, loser pussy, I'm all for it.
I don't understand about anything you're saying. So why don't you kick off the Simple Minds of the Week segment with your candidate, Paige Van Zandt, Bill?
She's supposed to fight bare knuckle boxing this weekend on Saturday. The promotion pulled her, and she killed the whole fight. They killed the fight. She's not a draw. She's lost her last 6 fights. All she is a piece of tits, a piece of ass.
That's not a beep. That's not a beep. That's true.
Took to Instagram and started claiming that I didn't pull out of this fight, blah blah blah, and all this other shit. So someone on one of her fan pages asked why, and I said to save her from a loss. So I got a little tiff with her little fans, but dude, she makes more money posting on her fucking OnlyFans or whatever the hell she has. She sucks as a fighter. Like, just come on, you're just laughable, and your husband sucks at fighting too.
She's also a wrestler,
which makes it even worse.
So the crux of this is she manipulated a situation to pull out of a fight because it was a good chance she was going to lose, and then she bitched about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's, I don't know if that's simple-minded or dumb, but it's certainly cowardly and shitty and douchey. But I can guarantee you one thing, Bill. This does not affect Ray one bit, because the only thing that pops in his head when you say Paige Van Zandt is those titties on Instagram. That's it. That's the only thing you can think. The whole time you were talking, I guarantee, Raymond, correct me if I'm wrong, that's all you were thinking about.
Bingo.
Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. Here's another candidate here. Fernando Tatis Jr., the
ding.
at one time proposed face of the MLB after what feels like hasn't played since he signed that 14-year contract or whatever it was. I know he has, but he's been hurt and whatever else. He just, he was recently suspended 80 games for steroid use. And that's dumb in its own right. And certainly he had some bad excuses, but I'm going to nominate his dad as the bigger Simplest Mind of the Week, who was also a Major League Baseball player who went
off. Only player to hit 2 grand slams in the same inning. Put some respect to his name.
Apologize.
Cool stat, nerd.
I don't have Wikipedia running through my fucking eyelids like the Matrix. This is baseballstats.com, whatever the fuck you look at. Get hard on your 45-minute circuit. Fernando Tatis Jr. Talked about haircuts and how you can get steroids in your system through haircuts. Here's some quotes for you. Quote, here's Tatis Sr. What involves him, Tatis Jr., is a steroid that contains a spray called Trofobal. He got a fungus due to a haircut. His mistake was not reading what it contains, which is what apparently makes him guilty of something totally unknown, Tatis Sr. said. He continued to say this is a catastrophe, what has taken place, not just for Junior, but for all of baseball. There are millions of fans who are going to stop watching baseball now. They're There are millions of fans who are going to stop watching baseball now. It's a total disappointment for Dominican fans, fans throughout the world, for something so insignificant that wasn't worth it. It's topical. And when he says topical, he means topical steroid. It's not. It's an anabolic steroid. It's proven. He said what came out positive in Juju's body is something that doesn't give you strength. Wrong. First of all, doesn't amplify your weight training regimen. Wrong. Second, doesn't have any testosterone. Third, wrong. Doesn't contain absolutely anything that would give him an edge in the game. Wrong. What has occurred is a catastrophe for baseball. What he was, the drug that he was suspended for is called clitoris.
It's clitoris.
Clitoris bowl. Thank you. It is favored by some drug cheats. This is off of the internet because it provides the benefits of elevated testosterone, aka muscle growth, with less elevated levels of estrogen by a byproduct, aka it's a steroid. He also came up with the tapeworm excuse that he was treating a tapeworm with a medicine that had this clitoris bowl in it. And if you look up the tapeworm medicine, I forgot to do it. It has a very similar drug. The name of the drug looks very similar. It's just not the same drug. I guarantee some idiot, some simple mind of the week, looked up tapeworm medicine. They saw a drug that started with C, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's where he got it." It's a different fucking drug altogether.
Just multiple excuses, and even Pedro coming to bat and blaming the Padres. No, there's a history of Dominican players, and
oh, you want the history, Bill? Before you go on, I have the history. Yep. Or do you want to read it off the email? Did you pull up the email? It's always 50-50 with you.
Matrix.
I had it.
16 of the last 20 players suspended in the MLB for steroids have been from the Dominican Republic. Since 2005, 33 of the 58 have been suspended our Dominican Republic. That's 57%. Just to give you a little bit of background on that, the Dominican Republic is obviously a third world country. There are a lot. Baseball is massive there. There are a lot of terrific young baseball players, and these pariahs come from America, and they pay these families whatever it is, $50,000 or whatever, to sign off a percentage. A percentage.
That's their dollar.
Right.
It's called a peso.
Percentage.
No,
of,
it's not.
Look it up.
I don't know. That's Mexico. I don't think the DR has pesos. I could be wrong. I actually have no idea. If it's not, it's racist. If it is,
I swear to God.
Right, you have to shave your head and your beard. The point here is that these players and these people are put into horrible positions as baseball players. That young kids.
What is it?
It's the Dominican peso.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I was right. It's a fucking peso.
Bill, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Dominican peso.
Didn't Tatis Jr. have this same thing, or no? Who was
Tatis owns a guy that gives you a loan based off your talent.
But who was the big one? I think it's from for the Dodgers. He wasn't Dominican. I think it was Cuban. Puig. Yeah. Wasn't he Cuban? I forget exactly where he came from.
Puig was Cuban.
But he owed like $500,000 to guys that got him out of the country and got him into so whatever.
Well,
Tatis
owns like $40 million because a guy banked on owns like 25% of his future earnings. So he basically gave him a loan when he was in the minors. So the guy prize on, minor league players and invests in their future.
Right.
So he signed for $300 million. I think he owed $30 million right off the top.
Yeah, it's really gross what's going on there. So that's all to say that the fact that 50% of the players suspended for steroids are Dominican, there's a reason behind that. However, the excuse of tapeworm and haircuts lands squarely as the simplest line of the week.
It's the same thing with the NFL
senior.
100%. And it's the same thing with the NFL. You have a number that you can call, and they'll give you a list of banned substances. You can call and say, I just got prescribed this prescription, and you have doctors in the PA that will give you every list and say, nope, this is on the banned list, and you got to do your homework. And again, it's a third world country, and it kind of, you've seen it. Even Ortiz, it goes back to Ortiz testing positive, and it was, it could have been anything, supplements, anything. It's not as regulated down there as is regulated up here. They just throw shit in there, and people just take whatever because that's what they get. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
But that's not Tatis's. That's not Tatis Jr. situation.
This is,
like the dude just
he
signed
got-
for
he got-
$350 million or whatever. Like,
this situation is 100% different because with him is you fell off a motorcycle last year and broke your wrist, and you've been out since, and now you're trying to get. Let's go back to Rodney Harrison. Guy wanted to get healthy. He was hurt a lot. He took HGH to try to get healthy. That's how you get healthier quick. Andy Pettit said the same thing. I was hurt. I wanted to get, I wanted to heal quicker. So I'm assuming it's something along those lines where, his team is ripping him to shreds. The GM ripped him. His teammates are fed up. They stuck by him after you crashed a motorcycle where you technically probably could have avoided his contract. You look at NFL contracts where motorcycles, Jason Williams for the Chicago Bulls, number 3 pick, ended his career on a motorcycle accident, and he had some fucking talent, speaking of a pile of shit dookie. But I mean, there's another guy like that.
missed free throws.
It's laughable what he's done, and the Padres stuck by him, and now this.
And he had an injury history to begin with.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
He had 300 something at bats when he signed the contract. Just the dad and the haircut and the mom and the tapeworm, just too much, just fucking too much. It's laughable. It was hilarious. Sucks to see him out of the game. He was electric and he is good. Hopefully he can come back and kind of straighten his shit out. It'd be good for baseball, but in San Diego, who gives a fucking shit? No one watches that anyway. Let me give you the last candidate because we're running late. Antonio Brown's quote was masterful. It's not the simplest mind of the week. It's maybe the smartest mind of the week. And he went on today. Bill, I know you were chronicling it, shitting on Tom Brady. If you want to pull a couple of those up.
Guerrero owes him $100,000.
Hold on, let me give you the quote and then follow me up with what he said today. Okay, so it's a little bit long and I can't read too good, so bear with me. Antonio Brown's quote, "My biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM a cracker or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen foot or throwing rocks at the UPS driver. It definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jets stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces." Brown began, "My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what it was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks."
Hey man, I remember sitting at
I'm
Ray's.
gonna get that as a fucking tattoo.
I remember
That's
sitting
the
at Ray's
greatest-
wedding in the bar at Atkinson, watching him shred the Dolphins.
That's the greatest
Like
thing
it-
I've ever fucking read.
Dude, he
It's
was
not showing up at Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with a frozen foot. Remember that? Remember
Oh,
to Europe?
Yeah. He
Because that
wore
was
the
on
wrong-
Hard Knocks. It was
he
on
wore
Hard
the
Knocks
He
too.
wore the wrong shoes in the cryo chamber, and then he bitched and complained about the helmet.
I
He
laughed
wanted to
out
use his
loud
helmet.
reading
Yeah, he
that
refused
off
to
my
go play
phone
with
in my car. I laughed out loud reading it. It
Dude,
gets me every single time I read it.
As much
It's
as I
so
hate,
good.
as much as I hate Antonio Brown and guys like him, I love hearing shit like this because it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so fucking hilarious.
And
then
he's like starting a successful rap, like or R&B, whatever kind of music.
no,
does.
he's like the head of Kanye West's sports management club that Jalen
Right, he
Brown
got
is
that
signed
job.
to. He's a vice
Right,
president.
he's
Jalen
selling
Brown is
out
signed to him.
concerts. He's performing at like sold out concerts, like a couple thousand people sold out concerts, but like or maybe a couple hundred.
He's doing like a Wilbur.
see-
He's
Go with this.
performing.
Yeah,
Anyway, I just thought that was
name
so
alone
good. It had to
probably
make the
sells
show.
tickets.
Dude, his 5-year stretch is the best numbers any wide receiver has ever put up in the history of the NFL.
Dude, him in Pittsburgh was unbelievable.
Dude,
Pittsburgh was
he averaged
unbelievable.
120
Killer
catches.
bees, man.
He averaged 120 catches for 5 straight years. Think about that. That is
ridiculous.
insane. Like he
Still couldn't
he's-
beat Brady and the Patriots, but
never.
Never changed.
Never.
Scheme.
Ben could have easily had 5 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
right.
A lot of people could.
Yeah, he's the Jordan of the NFL. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, August 19th. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. The Manti Te'o thing, though, you have to watch that, Bill, to see the
It's pretty good. To
guy
see
girl, the guy girl that he was talking to. Hilarious,
the lady boy.
lady boy.
Whoa, they brought the real person that he was talking to?
Oh yeah.
She starts the show and like is a main thorough line through the whole thing.
So we're talking chicks with dicks here.
And his pants go up to underbreasts. It's hilarious. I was
Does-
watching it. I was giggling.
His skills, though,
Does
skills as
it have titties?
her skills.
She is very fat and yes, has titties.
Are we talking about Brittany Griner type?
No.
Or okay. All right, now you guys are sucking me in to watch this.
Brittany
thing.
Griner's a woman. Who apparently
Allegedly.
well, Anthony Davis would argue. Do you see this? That I never knew that they were supposedly like engaged and dated for like 6 or 7 years or something. The unibrow and Google that. Brittany Griner and unibrow in like 2015, 16, 17 region.
Hold on, Brittany
Okay.
Griner looks like what Anthony Davis would look like as a woman.
I was thinking the same thing, Bill.
Yeah, no, it's a nice pair. It's a nice pairing.
So Anthony Davis is gay then.
That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it because I didn't want Rich to get mad at me.
Well, no, now this goes to the Manti Te'o. Everyone remember when it came out, everyone thought that he was hiding he was gay, so because he pretended to have a girlfriend.
Do you think
This does
did he
shed the
fuck her?
light. Here's what I took out of it. I think they were legitimately fooled because this catfish person was fucking good. Really good. Like
you have to have your guard up. We're talking 3 fucking years that he never met someone, but they're in a fucking relationship.
Well, that's the side of the story that I would have
yeah.
liked them to ask Manti Te'o. Like, you were the biggest thing on campus at Notre Dame, and you had a quote unquote online girlfriend for 3 years. You're gonna I bet
sucking that guy's
although so I
dick.
think he was a Mormon, so maybe he had some.
No,
He is a Mormon.
This
He
is
is a
what
Mormon.
happened. This is what happened.
He
was
must have
sucking,
been banging.
He was sucking Brittany, and then they made up this story that the guy his girlfriend was dead because someone caught him with
They
the
asked
lady
him if he
with
was
the
gay.
lady boy.
They asked him on that if he was gay.
And
Everybody asked him
Not-
if he was gay
not
when
gay.
it came out.
all right,
married.
so this is what happens when you look at it. Someone that goes on an on-ride relationship for 3 years and never met someone. It's a guy that doesn't get pussy. That's
This
what
is
it
my point. I think he did, and like for whatever reason, he doesn't want that to be like
Because of his faith.
because of his
very
faith.
He's very religious.
I think that he was
Fuck
laying.
Manti Te'o. I'm so out. He's not
I
slaying.
don't know. I gained a little bit.
that's-
I kind of gained a little bit of respect for him towards the
I
end.
did too.
I kind of watch it, Bill. It's only an hour, maybe it's
How
2
many
hours, 2 episodes.
how many slits do you think he's been in his life?
A lot.
400.
No way. I
Yeah.
disagree. Man's
He's
buttholes.
not married. He's in
400.
his 30s now.
You
Probably.
said slits. That's not a butthole.
No, that's a pussy.
I know. So 400.
I really like that word. I want to bring it back. Slit. It's a nice word.
Hashtag free Brittany Griner.
Marty! You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
He's so stupid.
Welcome to the darkness.
The darknesses. Darknesses.
Darknesses. Oh, gentlemen.
Richard, the Queen, my liege.
Thank you.
A little West Virginia. If people forget, we are fans
Big.
of the West Virginia.
Probably the number one fans of West Virginia football.
Yep. We have T-shirts. The Queen's here to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
Hey.
throwback days.
We tried.
Not hard enough.
Not that hard at all.
Well, we just got drunk and then we forgot about it.
We've got drunk and I mean the
Story of my
first
life.
like quite a few months of that show was just nothing but us getting drunk.
Those are
Yeah.
the good old days. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been here the last couple of weeks, but it's basically just been me getting drunk. So
The last
Please.
time I think was White Wine Night where it was you rambled.
Remember Rambling Ruth?
Ooh.
That's not white. That's not white.
No one will ever be bad than that. Never.
I like the that the sentence didn't even add up for the grammar guru.
Mm-mm.
Like, no one will ever be bad. That I'm just gonna go ahead and
Just mark that down. 731.
I'll just mark it down, and we'll see how it plays. Bill got mad at me last time I cut his shit, so I don't want to.
Yeah, your PC principal. He doesn't
I
like
don't
There
wanna
us.
was-
get that-
Because there were some funny fucking jokes that you cut them out. You butchered my who the fuck Minute Bowl AIDS joke.
Apologies.
He doesn't listen to the shows that he's not on. And when he does listen, he was mad.
Oh yeah, they have to be directly what he wants.
Uh-huh.
I forget what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I finished. I watched that whole Woodstock '99 all today.
The
I was-
three-parter.
Yeah,
I was enthralled.
It was like you didn't watch the HBO one, right?
No,
No,
not
it's the
yet. I'm
Netflix
going
one.
to. I'm going to tonight now.
Yeah, so it was just weird because like this time last year we got the HBO one, which was fucking awesome. Like it was awesome, and then this one they broke it up to 3 parts and went in depth, I should say. Man, they're like the carnage and all that was just insane.
Titties insane.
And dicks.
I thought about
A
you.
lot of dicks.
Every time I saw a set, Ray, I thought of you, and every time I saw a low hanging fruit, Bill, I thought of you.
Wait till you watch the HBO one. There's a guy keeping a journal of all the titties that he sees. It's kind of very funny.
That would be me. That'd be me.
But dude, guys die. The owners are cunts. Like they're complete assholes. They took
the two producers.
He just
there.
died. Yeah.
Yeah.
The two producers. Yeah, the guy that did the original one. Like he got pissed off at 94 because they broke in, and he in an Air Force base and it was 110 degrees out. Like, dude, come on. And it was 1999. He charged him $4 for water.
I'd be pissed at $4 for water now.
Was it 13? Like towards the end or something like that? Like the concession guys could charge whatever they wanted. I think
it was
like
just doomed from the beginning.
You had 400,000 people there in all the porta potties. You had no water. And then the balls, I don't mean to cut you off, Rich, but the balls to blame the bands and then the girls that got literally fucking molested and raped, that it was their fault for taking their clothes off. They took no accountability. Like you'll see in the fucking HBO one, it was all Fred Durst's fault.
Yeah,
they
well,
told
this one
them
was the same thing.
It was all Fred Durst's fault, and this and that, and it's like fuck you.
Netflix had a good one on the Netflix one. Pinned it on Fred Durst, like the big, when it hit its pinnacle there. That's when they tore down the light stand?
Well,
right?
They did break stuff, and then because he was
going nuts. I did really like the footage of Fred Durst going fucking bananas, but then it all turned to me for the end. They did like a 2-sentence interview with him at the end, and he started with "It's not our fault," and then he kind of backtracked immediately, knowing he sounded like a douchebag saying that.
Well, he is a douche in general, but like
he was a douchebag. It was a douchebag move, but he probably he was just in it. You could see. He had blinders on. He was just like, I'm going to fucking go for this.
Dude, I remember watching that shit on TV. Like, I think it was 99. So I was going into my freshman year, and it was like, man, I would have loved to be there. It was 95% of the bands I was listening to then, and they were fucking awesome. And then that shit happens. It was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, not for me. I don't want to camp there. I don't know.
No, not it. We would have been, you were 14, 13 years old. Like,
did you see that girl that was 14 that says, like, I'd do it
she
again?
Was tripping on acid. She went there with the bum and start tripping acid. Like,
that was also my biggest takeaway. Like, the carnage is insane. And like, they talk about how just, terrible it was. But then every one of those concert goers that they talked to, like, I would have fucking done it again. It was the best time of my life.
Well,
it's like, so was it that bad? I mean, yes, people died. Yes, there were multiple rapes, but less molestations.
Dude, the girl in the
whole
van
thing was terrible. But everybody that they interviewed said,
Fuck yeah,
I'd fucking do it again.
Dude,
so I don't know what that says.
The best part I thought was
insane.
when they pushed the truck into the Fat Boy Slim rave, and they had to get him the hell out of there.
They didn't push. Wasn't that guy was fucked up on? Yeah,
they were
ecstasy,
driving,
right?
And I think they opened the back of it.
Yeah, they found the girl that was raped,
and they let the guy just walk away.
Well,
like, what are you doing?
He fell into the crowd or whatever else. But yeah, Fat Boy Slim was upset.
Lee, though, I was watching it in the living room, and Kelly came down to get something. She's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, Woodstock." And it was when the Red Hot Chili Peppers was performing. And all of a sudden, you just see Flea's dick. Out. He's like, "What the fuck?" Like, that's a penis. Enjoy.
That's a nice dick, Flea. Nice dick.
They look like Bill at the Strange Brew.
He loves to show it off.
Hey, Flea. Nice dick. We say we start the show, the Simple Minds Sports Show, where we talk all things New England sports, latest in the greatest.